I'm a top star in the entertainment industry. On my daughter's 7th birthday, my husband spent $1 billion on a time machine. He said he regretted his past choices. He wanted to go back 8 years to save his first love from drowning in a flood, instead of me, his then pregnant newlywed wife. So, on this special day, I watched helplessly as my daughter, whom I adored for 7 years, disappeared into the past. And he set off fireworks across the city to celebrate his first love's resurrection. When I opened my eyes again, I was reborn 8 years ago, just before the flood hit. This time, I kicked Leon into the water with them. I watched them swim in the flood, just like a dramatic Titanic scene. Sophia, I woke up as if from a dream, sitting up suddenly. My hands trembled as I touched my belly. Everything around me was so familiar. I realized I had been reborn to the night before the flood struck 8 years ago. On my daughter Sophia's 7th birthday, she was taken by my husband Leon with $1 billion time machine. He said, "Linda, I'd give everything to buy a time machine. If I could go back in time, I would save Rita, my true love." So, Sophia vanished before my eyes. No matter how hard I searched, I couldn't find her. No one else in the world remembered her. They only knew that CEO Leon was madly in love with popular star Rita, lighting fireworks every night, just to see her smile. 7 nights of fireworks. I couldn't find my daughter or seek revenge, and I died resentfully under those dazzling lights. Now, I'm back before the flood. My assistant complained, "Linda, you fainted from pregnancy, and Leon still won't leave Rita's tent to see you." I shook my head, tears falling uncontrollably, feeling a wave of intense emotion. "Perfect, Sophia, this time I will protect you." With rain pouring outside, I grabbed my assistant's hand. "Notify the villagers to evacuate to higher ground immediately. The flood is about to hit, and this place will be submerged by morning." 8 years ago, the flood caused thousands of deaths. Coming back, I will do my best to save as many lives as I can. As my assistant was leaving, I quickly called out to her, "Wait, don't bother Leon and Rita. Get everyone to the boat first." Leon, in my last life, he regretted saving me, his pregnant wife, in the flood. So, he spent $1 billion on the time machine, ignoring Sophia's fate. He chose to save someone else 8 years ago. This time, I want to see how he escapes alive. It was my first year married to Leon, and also my most successful year. I was filming in a remote area, and Leon visited under the pretense of checking on me. But he was really getting close to a minor actress, Rita. On my way to notify everyone to evacuate, I passed Rita's tent and overheard Leon's low, hoarse laughter. He was always cold and distant with me. Every time our daughter Sophia tried to please Leon, he rejected her harshly. She was so well behaved and always said, "It's Sophia's fault for making daddy angry." Yet, such an understanding child was ultimately erased from the world by Leon. He regretted not saving Rita, and used the time machine to change the past. This resulted in the death of my daughter Sophia. How could I not hate him? How could I not resent him? Even outsiders couldn't stand to watch. "Linda, Leon is too much." The director hesitated, giving me a sympathetic look. Suppressing my hatred, I forced a smile and said, "Young people just like to have fun. It's normal. I have more important things to do. Soon, Leon won't be able to laugh anymore." I told the director, "If you trust me, get everyone on the boat immediately." I had worked with the director many times before, so he trusted me. Following my advice, he quietly evacuated people. The rain was loud, pounding on the tents. Leon and Rita were watching Titanic in the tent. It was normal for them not to notice the commotion outside. Now, I won't stupidly quit the entertainment industry for love again. I will protect Sophia and safeguard my success. After a busy night, most villagers were moved to the boat. The ship was a prop for the shoot, but fortunately, the director had rented a real boat, or everyone here would have perished. At dawn, I left and glanced once more at Rita's tent. They hadn't come out all night. I looked forward to their reaction when they saw the desolate land and the rising floodwaters. My assistant gently reminded me, "Linda, Leon is still in Rita's tent. Should we call them?" The water level was above waist height, and the flood was about to break loose. I looked at my assistant and said, "You go ahead. I'll call them." Knowing it was a matter of life and death, she didn't hesitate. Pretending to go call them, I lifted a corner of their tent. Even a slightly opened tent would flood it and overturn it. "Leon and Rita, thank me. I'm giving you a rare chance to face hardship together." When I got to the boat, it was full. "Linda, hurry up. The last spot is yours." Yes, the last spot should have been mine. If I hadn't waited for Leon in my past life, he wouldn't have saved me. Climbing aboard, I saw Leon and Rita rushing towards us from afar. In a life or death situation, there's no place for them on this ship. Heavy rain and strong winds were raging. The floodwaters, mixed with mud and debris, were sweeping through the remote area. Leon and Rita clung to each other, drifting in the water. Linda, pull us up. I looked down at Leon's handsome, refined face, now so pitiful. He used to be aloof and arrogant, but now he seemed to have fallen from grace. Pitiful, but not deserving of sympathy. My hands trembled as I touched my belly, restraining my anger and speaking calmly. There's no room here. How can I save you? Rita, looking frail and pitiful, nestled in his arms. Leon, I'm cold. Rita, don't worry. Linda will definitely save us. Everyone was watching my husband. The mighty Leon was gently comforting Rita. Everyone was as anxious as ants on a hot pan. Finally, someone found the last life ring. Linda, here's a life ring. We can pull Leon up. Yeah, it was this very life ring that made Leon make a difficult choice back then. A choice he regretted forever. Now, I still have to make him choose. I tossed the life ring back to Leon. Then, I forced down the curve of my mouth and said regretfully, too bad, it can only save one. Everyone on the boat was shouting, Leon, quickly use the life ring. The flood could kill us. But that wasn't enough. To prepare for the upcoming divorce, I signaled my assistant with a glance to take out a phone and start a live stream. We titled it Real Life Titanic and spent $10,000 to boost it. In an instant, the live stream was trending. At this moment, tears welled up in Rita's eyes and silently fell. Leon, I love you. I was willing to sacrifice myself for you. But lately, I've been feeling nauseous a lot. I think it's from 2 months ago. Her words made Leon's face change abruptly, and he hadn't realized the live stream was ongoing. As expected, he started to hesitate. Well, that won't do. I'll help him make a choice. My assistant said, Leon, everyone online knows Rita is your first love from college. Can you really bear to let the flood take her? She's so delicate, tiny, and relies entirely on you. Everyone in the live stream is watching you. How could you not save her? Think carefully. Don't make a decision you'll regret. The water level was rising, and I could hear the roaring waves. Pure-hearted hero, Leon, since you love making choices and morally pressuring me, now, when it's just you and Rita with one life ring, I want to see what you choose. The number of viewers in the live stream was skyrocketing. The whole internet was watching CEO Leon and Rita struggling in the flood. Leon's face darkened suddenly, eyes aflame. Who told you to record this? Do you want to die? Since the camera was on Leon's face, he only thought it was being recorded, not live-streamed. He didn't know it was live. Things were getting interesting. This time, I'm going to make sure Leon struggles in the water and expose his hypocrisy, blowing up the internet. The cold water was soaking Rita's body. She was pale and shivering. Leon, can you give me the life ring? I don't want to die. Slender Rita clung to Leon, barely supporting herself against the flood. I slightly curled my lips. Leon, now that you're also a choice, let's see what you decide. As I expected, he couldn't decide immediately. At this moment, the live stream had over 1 million viewers. The whole internet was waiting to see Leon fight for survival. This was more thrilling than any survival show. Amidst the anticipation, a cold, cruel voice echoed, and everyone on the boat heard it. If someone jumps down and gives up their spot, I'll pay $1 million. Leon was a businessman, utterly ruthless. It was as if he was analyzing who to buy off the negotiation table. $1 million. Enough to make ordinary people's eyes light up. To them, it was a huge amount. My expression turned icy. Damn, Leon planned to buy a life with another. His arrogant eyes scanned everyone. Even in this flood, he retained his intimidating presence and superiority cultivated since childhood. $1 million. Enough for your entire lives. He sneered, saying, your lives are worth enough. The people on the boat perked up, but it sparked public outrage. The live stream viewers were all cursing Leon the capitalist. Leon didn't care about the lives on the boat. $1 million a life, even the parts of their bodies weren't worth this. I hate capitalists' arrogance, just like my boss. Most villagers were hesitant. Some who were good swimmers were already undressing, ready to jump for the money. I glanced at my assistant. The assistant immediately shouted, wait, isn't your life worth anything? What if you earn the money but can't spend it? Besides, without proof, can you trust his words? You haven't even received the money, and you're rushing to die for him. You'll end up with no evidence, just dead. Just then, a lightning bolt flashed, followed by a thunderous roar. Everyone fell silent. Leon's joyful expression vanished. In a panicked rush, he raised the amount. $5 million. $5 million for 2 seats. Just jump, and the money's yours. At this moment, Leon couldn't hold his composure. His usually calm face showed a flicker of panic. Still, he tightly hugged Rita's waist, visibly devoted, but nobody believed him anymore. Many villagers were naive. $1 million was already too much for them. $5 million was even more unimaginable. The bigger the promise, the less they trusted. And the crew members knew Leon's true character. In life and death, who would dare take the gamble? So, everyone just rubbed their noses, scratched their heads, and sat back down. Leon, save your breath. Money isn't worth more than life. Yeah, the waves are huge. Who'd risk it? Leon's face grew paler, his expression extremely grim. But at this critical moment, someone grabbed the life ring from him. Ignoring everything, Rita snatched the life ring and put it on herself. Rita, you? Leon's pupils contracted, and a hint of surprise appeared in his cold eyes, before slowly turning into pain. He croaked out, Rita, why are you doing this? Well, to save my life, obviously. I suppressed the curve of my lips, feeling secretly delighted inside. Leon, being betrayed by your first love doesn't feel so great, huh? Leon, I'm sorry. I'm doing this for our child. I want to live. Rita's shoulders trembled as she spoke emotionally. Someone once told me I can only bear sons and not daughters. If I wasn't carrying our son, I would rather die and give you the life ring. But I'm pregnant now. I have 2 lives in me, Leon. This is our son. Hearing Rita's words, Leon was suddenly at a loss. Of course, he didn't want to die. He always believed there was a throne to inherit in his family, so he valued sons over daughters. In his previous life, he resented Sophia for being a girl more than once. So, he threatened the staff, using his identity as an investor to apply pressure once again. But it was useless. Workers cherish their lives too, right? Driven to the edge, Leon turned his dangerous eyes to me. Linda, you don't want to just watch me die, do you? You'll save me, won't you? I shrugged, looking full of regret. But I can't save you. Leon struggled to control his chattering teeth, looking at me with determined eyes. No, you have a way to save me. His certain tone sent chills down my spine. My heart sank as I stared coldly at him. Then he said, you come down here and let me up. Leon spoke as if it was only right, making me feel cold inside. Did he really think I loved him to the point of dying for him? I hadn't even avenged the grudge from the past life yet. Leon, do you think I owe you something? Where did you get the confidence to think I'd come down for you? Leon's face suddenly changed. He stared at me in shock, expressionless as he said, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't be here on set and caught up in this mess. It's all because of you. If something happens to me, you won't be able to escape responsibility either. I once saw Leon through rose-colored glasses. He was my husband, the friend, family, and lover who had been by my side since childhood. But when those glasses came off, Leon was just Leon, no halo to make him special. Oh, did I make you come to Rita's tent? Everyone knows you often stay out all night, chatting life away with Rita. I mercilessly exposed him. The person you should blame isn't me, but yourself. I already gave you the life ring. It's not my fault you couldn't keep it. What else could I do? Your devotion, keep it for Satan down below. The live stream viewers were all stunned. Watching the comments fly by, I felt extremely satisfied. Having failed with me, Leon turned his attention to Rita. There was only one life ring, and only one of them could live. The flood waters raged. No one on the boat was willing to come down, and there was only one life ring. Leon's eyes, filled with complex emotions, rested on Rita. He clenched his fists unwillingly. Tears welled up in Rita's eyes as she spoke with panic. Leon, I feel like our child is fading. We might not keep him. Leon, don't you want him to live? Children were the only thing that could shake Leon's emotions. At this moment, he didn't know that I also carried his child in my womb. But in this life, my daughter belonged solely to me and had nothing to do with him. As for whether the son Rita kept mentioning was actually Leon's, that was questionable. My assistant couldn't help but whisper in my ear, Linda, Rita is not that simple. Leon has no chance against her. I smiled slightly. Of course, I knew. Who didn't know about the gossip within the circle? Rita was famous for her love of men. Rich, good-looking, athletic. If a man had at least one of those traits, she would be with them. She drifted among men, each one at her fingertips. Leon was just one of them. The child was merely Rita's bargaining chip for survival at this moment. But maybe because of the powerful first love filter, Leon firmly believed that the child was his. So, decisively, he swam away on his own. Watching his departing back, I squinted my eyes. Leon, you'd better not die this time. Only then can you see whose child your pure first love is really carrying. In this flood, the lives of most people were preserved. After the waters receded, everyone combed through the area to find Leon, dead or alive. After a whole day of searching, they finally found Leon. Since he knew how to swim, he had barely survived. After being rushed to the hospital, Leon stayed in the ICU for 3 days and 3 nights. I never went to see him, keeping myself busy with filming, until I heard that Leon had narrowly escaped death. Only then did I remember, I needed to hurry and divorce him. At the hospital room door, I heard Rita crying. "Leon, you finally woke up. You don't know how worried I was. I've been so frightened these past days. I didn't mean to take the life ring. I did it all for our son. Leon, you'll forgive me, right?" I looked up and saw Leon's sickly face showing deep affection. He held Rita's hands, softly comforting her. "Rita, I've never blamed you. You're a mother. I understand your desire to protect our son. Leon, you don't know how over the top Linda was. She even started a live stream. Both you and I were cursed by ignorant viewers." Leon, looking pale as death, suddenly sat up in shock and rasped, "What?" Rubbing his forehead, eyes full of astonishment, he said, "Linda dared to live stream. Is she crazy? Doesn't she know how badly this could affect the company?" I almost laughed out loud. Did Leon not know yet that his company's stocks had already plummeted? I pushed the door open, glaring at the tired, sickly man. "No, I'm not crazy. The company's PR department will have to go nuts. After all, Leon's personal image is trashed now." In the past few days, the incident of Leon buying his safety had stayed at the top of search trends. His eyes cooled with a chilling light. "Linda, what do you get out of this? Did you plan to let us both drift in the flood for fun?" At this moment, Leon's mother suddenly burst in. "Leon, how could you look at Linda like that? Don't you think all of this is your problem?" Leon cut ties with Rita immediately and apologized to Linda. Leon's mother shot him a quick look, signaling him to back down to me. "Don't think I don't know. Leon and his mom loved putting on this act in front of Sophia and me in the past." But Leon held onto Rita's hand firmly, speaking in a calm and steady voice. "Mom, Rita is pregnant with my child. She's carrying your first grandchild, and I need to give her a home." Those words hit me hard. I wasn't angry. I was just deeply saddened for Sophia. In our past life, Sophia tried so hard to gain Leon's family's approval, but they never valued her because she was a girl. And Leon never thought to give Sophia a harmonious and happy family, or to become a good father. I took the divorce agreement out of my bag and placed it in front of him. "Fine, let's get divorced then." Leon's mother looked furious, her voice trembling. "Leon, are you out of your mind? Did a flood wash away your senses? You want to give her a home, but what about Linda?" She rolled her eyes and turned to me. "Linda, don't worry. I won't blame you for not saving the situation this time. But divorce, that's unnecessary." Leon blinked in surprise at the divorce agreement for a solid half-second before saying anything. "All right, I agree to the divorce." Leon's mother could no longer hold back and yelled, "Leon, I married Leon in a business arrangement that hadn't even lasted a year. At first, my dad, seeing how much I liked Leon, was willing to help his family through tough times. This was how Leon's nearly bankrupt company was restored to normal operations. But if we divorce, my family would withdraw its investments and funding. Who knows what would happen to Leon's company then?" Despite his mother's insults, Leon still signed the divorce papers without showing any emotion. As I left, I heard him say decisively, "What does it matter if the company loses Linda? My child can't lose me. Rita is the woman I truly want to marry, and I'm willing to give up everything for her and our child." After a smooth divorce, I focused even more on filming. The movie I was working on was nearing completion, and Sean, the award-winning actor, came by for a cameo. He often flirted with Rita during filming. The entire crew knew they had a special relationship. Some even caught Rita and Sean hugging and kissing. I pretended not to notice. Why should it concern me? The only one oblivious was Leon. In our past life, it wasn't until after our wedding that I learned Rita was his college sweetheart. So I never understood why, if he fell for Rita at first sight, he didn't tell me and married me in a hurry after graduation. My hand drifted to my belly. In this life, my Sophia was healthy and strong. After she's born, I don't plan to tell Leon. He doesn't deserve to be Sophia's father, not biologically or nominally. One day, while resting on set, I saw Leon get out of his car. He walked over with a spring in his step, smiling slightly, clearly in a good mood. "Today is the movie wrap-up day. What's Leon doing here now?" He came specifically to me and said, "I'm going to propose to Rita. She's carrying my son, due in a few months. I need to give her a proper title. I can't let my son be illegitimate." I couldn't help but snicker. The entire crew was present, so I wished him luck with his proposal. Rita, pure and innocent, gentle and kind, is a good girl. His stern face softened instantly. Mentioning Rita made him visibly tender. Then he looked at me and his expression changed. "Linda, you need to change your temper. or no man will want you. My smile froze, and I stared at Leon, emotionless. Why should I need a man? Isn't it their privilege to even get close to me? I raised an eyebrow and snapped back. And don't you think that Rita is really carrying your child? Leon's face changed, his demeanor instantly turned cold. Linda, watch your words. Of course, she's carrying my child. Since he was so confident, I prepared to sit back and enjoy the show. Leon stormed off, clearly displeased. He intentionally hid Rita, never showing up after arriving at the set's trailer. My assistant brought me a video, looking like she'd uncovered a huge secret. Linda, I accidentally found something, she whispered in my ear. I raised my eyebrows and smiled at my assistant. The wrap-up scenes filmed late into the night. To celebrate, the director bought a lot of fireworks. Under the brilliant fireworks, Leon walked toward Rita. Every step he took was steady and determined. He knelt on one knee under the dazzling fireworks and pulled out $1 million ring to propose. Rita, I didn't know how to please you before and always upset you. Now I've learned to love. I want to give you and our child a home. Everyone was stunned. They all knew about Rita and Sean's relationship and couldn't buy into this complicated love triangle. Rita was at a loss, while Sean seemed like a mere onlooker. Leon's every word was resolute. Rita, will you marry me? Rita remained silent, her eyes occasionally darting to Sean. As the silence dragged on, Leon grew visibly anxious. Amidst the growing tension, the screen behind Leon suddenly lit up, drawing everyone's attention with its blinding light. A video played, and Rita's voice filled the air. Sean, I'm pregnant with your child. You will love me, won't you? The entire crowd was in shock. Leon's joy turned cold in an instant. He suddenly turned around and saw Rita and Sean hugging on the screen. In that moment, he couldn't keep his composure. Unbelievable. Completely devastated. In the video, Rita leaned dependently in Sean's arms. Their loving posture felt like an invisible slap across Leon's face. But the worst was yet to come. Sean sneered and asked, whose baby is it really? Of course, it's yours. It's been 3 months. Who else's could it be? Rita replied, don't believe those videos online. When the flood happened, I had to lie and say the baby was that idiot's. Otherwise, why would he save me? I almost laughed out loud. Looks like Leon's world is the only one that gets hurt. Leon's eyes turned bloodshot, a trace of sorrow appearing in his gaze. Rita, so, you've been lying to me all along. This child isn't mine at all. Tears welled up in Rita's eyes as she tried to appear pitiful. Leon, I truly love you. I was just playing with them. Who would believe that? Rita was desperately trying to appease Leon, while Playboy Sean couldn't care less. Leon's failed proposal was somehow exposed to the public. He cheated during his marriage, divorced with difficulty, only to be betrayed again. Now, the whole internet was discussing Leon's situation. His personal scandal seriously affected the company's image. Amidst the massive online backlash, the company's stock plummeted, and Leon was mocked by everyone online. He ignored the top diva Linda, and fell for a sea queen like Rita. What can such a blind CEO possibly produce? They had quality issues before, and it was only Linda's endorsement that saved them. As the discussion spiraled, it became difficult to restore peace. Within a month, Leon's company faced unprecedented devastation. A month later, after finishing a shoot, I encountered Leon standing at my door. He looked at me, his voice trembling, Linda, can you help me now? Leon clearly hadn't rested well, and fatigue was evident on his face. I looked at him coldly. Help you with what? The company's stocks are crashing. If this continues, the situation will get much worse. Linda, you're the only one who can help me now. I smiled slightly, mocking him. Leon, you can ask Rita. She'd be happy to help. When you're desperate, you think of me. But when you were on top, you wanted to give your whole heart to Rita. Mentioning Rita made Leon's expression change immediately. Trying to hold back his impatience, he calmly said, Linda, you know Rita can't help me. Only your family business can save me. Even merging the two companies would be fine, as long as you're willing. It seemed Leon's company was in dire straits. Otherwise, the high and mighty Leon wouldn't stand in front of me saying such things. But I had no interest in taking over a collapsing enterprise. No, I find it dirty. Leon's pupils constricted, anger flashing across his handsome face. What do you mean? Exactly what I said. It's not the company that's dirty, it's you. If I helped him, we'd be entangled indefinitely. Instead, I'd rather build my own strength. Besides, why should my thriving business take on a mess like his? From that day, I never saw Leon again. My career thrived, and Sophia, growing in my belly, was healthy and starting to show. Though I wanted to keep my private life out of public view, I was still photographed while out. Soon, my pregnancy became trending news. Everyone online speculated whether I would get back with Leon because of the baby. This news quickly reached Leon. At an event, I ran into Leon. He was frantically connecting with former partners, seeking funds. He had put aside his pride, accepting rejections without flinching, but there was no trace of his former glory, where everyone had to cater to him. Our eyes met. I turned to leave, but Leon hurried to block my path. Linda, are you pregnant? It's my child, right? I narrowed my eyes, looking at his hopeful expression. In our past life, he had never awaited Sophia's birth. On the day I gave birth, Leon was in a meeting. The delivery was difficult, and I barely survived. Afterwards, as a husband and father, he ignored us. Now, I only saw his actions as hypocritical. Linda, I know it's my baby. For the sake of the baby, forgive me this once. I laughed coldly, unable to suppress my fury. Unable to hold back, I slapped Leon across the face. The slap echoed crisply, drawing attention from everyone at the event. Leon turned his face, his icy gaze fixed on me, anger hidden in his eyes. In a low voice, he said, Linda, was I wrong? The baby is mine. Why can't you put up with me for the kid's sake? I promise I'll treat you well from now on. Why should I put up with you, Leon? Tell me, why should I? I crossed my arms, a faint smile on my lips, spoke calmly. I have money and a career. After the baby is born, I can give her the best life. She'll be cherished like a princess. Why should I, settle for less with you? You think too highly of yourself. Once the baby is born, it has nothing to do with you. I'll be her mother and her father. Without you, this baby will be happier than anyone else. Leon was so humiliated he couldn't speak for a long time. He held back his emotions and clenched his fists. As I passed him, I whispered, forgot to tell you, she took my last name. After Sophia was born, she no longer had her surname from her past life. Instead, she was my precious Sophia. When I said this, Leon looked incredibly distressed, even worse than if I had slapped him. But I loved seeing him like that. The more pathetic, the better. My movie blew up online and in theaters. The public praised my acting, and rave reviews flooded in. Linda's face is so beautiful, and her figure is also stunning. She's gorgeous and talented. I'm obsessed. Sure enough, leaving a man made her super powerful. But some people wondered, Linda used to be so in love. Will she remarry Leon for the sake of the child? Rumors of me remarrying Leon circulated online, and everyone was talking about it. At a movie promotion event, a reporter asked, will you remarry Leon? Facing the camera, I calmly said, I've never thought about remarrying. The child is one thing, and I am another. I want to tell all my female fans that even if you're pregnant and have children, don't lose yourself. I was also speaking to myself. I regretted quitting my career for love in my past life. A few months later, I heard about Leon's bankruptcy, which I had expected. Without my family's financial support, his family business couldn't go on. Cutting their losses was the best outcome, but I didn't think Leon could hold on for so long. He was embroiled in economic lawsuits and deeply in debt, unable to repay. He was taken to court, and his company's headquarters was being auctioned off. To avoid excessive stress, I had stopped all my activities, focusing on my pregnancy and waiting for Sophia to be born. I also had my assistant keep an eye on the auction. Eventually, I successfully bought his company's headquarters. When I arrived, I saw Leon being taken away by the police. Linda, you're here to save me, right? He asked. I took off my sunglasses and looked at Leon, about to get into the police car. Linda, this way. Someone beside me respectfully invited me up. I glanced at Leon, smirking. I'm the company owner now. From now on, this place won't bear your name. Leon's expression changed. His eyes filled with complex emotions and bitterness. You have money, but won't save me. Linda, do you hate me that much? Of course, I hate you. Leaving you in jail for life is too easy. I wish you were dead. If not for the law, I would have had him taken out. With Leon in prison for financial disputes, I founded my own company. Not only that, but I was also nominated for Best Actress. On the day of the awards, I sat with our film crew. Next to me was Rita. When I won Best Actress, a flash of jealousy appeared in Rita's eyes, although she tried to hide it. Linda, congratulations. You've got your career and a baby on the way, she said. I smiled and quietly replied, thanks, but what about your baby? Rita had an abortion because Sean wouldn't take responsibility, and her agency wouldn't let her have the baby. Her smile disappeared instantly. Walking onto the stage, I accepted the award. This was my dream, once a regret, now fulfilled. I was grateful to exist in this world, not some fleeting dream. This award was a testament that Sophia was with me. She would always be part of my life. On the day of Sophia's birth, I was both excited and expectant. I avoided the postpartum hemorrhage from my past life and safely delivered her. She was as sweet and lovely as she was before. Sophia was incredibly bright, learning to talk before she was 1. When she called me mommy for the first time, my heart pounded with joy and excitement, and tears of happiness streamed down my face. Losing her and getting her back was indescribable joy. Sophia became the darling of our office, the most important person in my life. But while we thrived, Rita fell from grace, offending powerful figures in the industry. Her acting was never good, and repositioning herself at an event had serious consequences. She was blacklisted, and her presence faded from the screens. Seasons changed, and soon it was Sophia's 7th birthday. I threw her a party, at the most luxurious 5-star hotel downtown. At the cake table, she closed her eyes and blew out the candles, her small face glowing with happiness. Not only is she my mom, but also my dad. She's the person Sophia loves the most in the world. Sophia never asked about or wanted a dad. I gave her all the love she needed. Her memory of me was enough. The glow of the candles highlighted her adorable face. I want to be with mommy forever, she said tearfully. Filled with emotion, I hugged her tightly. Sophia, do you want to hear mommy sing? She kissed my cheek and nodded with a big smile. Holding the microphone, I stood on stage and gifted her 7 children's songs, each note floating in the air, conveying my endless blessings for her. Silently in my heart, I prayed, wishing my Sophia a life of safety, joy, and no worries.